Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, firstly, for awarding us this project. What we're doing basically is we are constructing these 6 properties, timber frame and block work with resin finish, as you can see here, and the new residential road into the development here. Just a little bit of a topography of the site and the area from me. Considerations are we've got an existing residential development here, busy A road down at the bottom here. We've got the school up at the top, and then we've got a mixed development over here on the left hand side of agricultural buildings and the factory, which is now fully up and running. So we've got a few considerations there. Following the success of QPS, we've constructed and repaired the pavement here, and we're now known as Quality Building Services. So quick introductions. Obviously I've done very well for myself in the last 2 days, and I'll sit on Marshall, Managing Director, CEO. Tom is my project manager. Colin is my double R bastard security, and he's got a softer side, the ecology as well. Rick Curzon is my HSQE director. Barry Dodge is my site engineer.
Morning,
Steve Johnson is my site manager.
Morning.
So we have got obviously our site rules, which we'll go through in a lot more detail, but our predominant function is to keep you safe, us safe, and make this project a huge success. So just a bit of housekeeping from me. We've got the fire exits, which are located behind us here and through the double doors there, and then we've got a muster points in the car park just outside the front here. You should hear any alarms. There's no alarms planned for today. Alarms are normally on a Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Toilets, you'll just see them on your left hand side, ladies and gentlemen. To the left there, welfare, coffees, drinks are through the door there on your left hand side. First aid, we've got first aid within this group here. That's Barry and that's Tom. And then we've got our first aid points at the back here. Smoking areas just out to the back there through the double door. So quick overview of what we're going to do. We're going to do a site plan, go through that, storage, what we're expecting, what our inductions are, site security, emergency procedures, risk assessments, traffic management, welfare plan, and our notification of authority permissions that we've had to get for this project. So over to Tom,
No.
Barry, even, to start going through the site plans.
Morning, gents. As Tom said, I'm the site engineer for the project. Just want to take you through quickly the site setup. Now, as you can see on the plan, our entrance is going to be off Schools Road. Red line, it's all the way around, is going to be 2.4 boarding. As you pull onto site, the first thing you'll see is the site security. It'll also have a barrier there. This is going to be set back slightly, so we've got no congestion on Schools Road. Turn left into the site, which is the north end of the site. First cabin you'll come to will be the site office cum meeting room. Next cabin along is going to be our canteen. Now I've estimated there's going to be around 28 men on site at any one time. So we've done our calculations, and the canteen is well adequate to take that many men. We've obviously got the couple of microwaves, couple of kettles in there, couple of fridges, tea, coffee making facilities. Next cabin along, the third one, this is going to be the welfare toilets basically. We've got ladies and gents toilets. Now the toilets have got their own waste tank underneath. Now this is going to be emptied every Friday morning. We've asked them for around about 10 AM in the morning. So if you're about 10 AM in the morning, there could be a bit of a stench for half an hour, so stay away. It's not very nice. You'll also see we've got the red dotted line. Now this is going to be a fenced off area, only a small fence, which is going to be our designated walking area. You'll see we've got reverse parking for staff. And you'll also see going to the south side of the compound, we've got a designated walking area. Now in the storage side, we're going to be having the skips there. These are all going to be segregated waste, which will be touched on shortly with one of the lads. we've got 2 storage cabins, materials and tools. Now the southwest of the compound, this is where our cosh locker is going to be. This will be all fenced off, gated and locked. The only lads that will have the key for that and the lads that need to go in there, so not everybody's going to be able to get in there. You'll also see dotted around the sites, we've got our first aid points, we've got our fire extinguisher points, muster points, and we've also got a couple of smoking shelters. All these will be touched on with the guys after me. So if we're all happy with that, I'll now pass you on to Tom.
How's it going, guys? I'm Tom Martin. So we're going to go through the site induction, a seriously important part of site setup and working on site. You guys as a client will also be needed to do the site induction. I know we had a guy last time, he was walked on like he was, you know, really big balls, thought he didn't have to have a site induction, we just kicked him straight off. So it's important everyone has a site induction. Everyone on the site will be CSCS registered, qualified, so that's a minimum requirement we have on our site. So the inductions will be able to be given any time, just to add fluidity and proactivity with all the site. So if we get a contractor come on that needs induction straight away, there'll be two authorised personnel on site to give them that straight away, so we can get them on the site. So we're not putting any restrictions on ourselves. So the information to be covered will be the rules of the site, which are very important, which Steve will go through into detail later. The stages of the project, so everyone knows where we're at and what we're working towards. Going through safety warnings, areas to know, fire assembly, and first aid points as such. Welfare facilities, the parking arrangements, the strict speed limit of 5 miles an hour that we've got on site, and the procedures for reporting any accidents. These will all be stored as hard copies in a file in the office. They will also be sent digitally to the head office, which you, the client, will get a login number and a password, so you can always log into our system and see who's done the inductions. Okay, signs. I love a sign. The signs are a form of information. Information gives you knowledge. Knowledge is power. Signs on the site tell you everything what's happening on the site, ranging from welfare, as I said before, fire assembly points, first aid points, what skips to put your waste in and out, and it also able to tell you what is going on the site. We've also got the main board that will have will be 4 of these boards scattered throughout the site. The main 8-foot board showing the main health and safety policies and the routes for and actions on accidents and minimum requirements for PPE. Next one. So the next one will be the first aid. So we've got various first aid points dotted throughout the site. So obviously, if there's an accident, you need to get assistance, get help, assess the injury, administer first aid, take to the first aid station, and phone for an ambulance. And we have got, as I say, we've got a minimum of, the ratio is 1 to 4 first aiders. So for every 4 persons on site, there will be 1 first aider. So that covers for that. We also have two defibrillators on site, one in the office and one actually out on site in the corner of the first aid point. So the fire plan is always, as soon as you suspect a fire, to raise the alarm, to help injured people to safety, and to get to the assembly point. We've got 2 fire assembly points, one in the car park and one as you come out of the front gate, turn left. We've got one in there. And then obviously we've also got 2 fire safety officers. The 2 fire safety officers will get the sheet from the security guard at the front of the gate and take the sheet from the signing in sheet from the office, and they'll cross-reference that, and then we'll do a register of whoever's on the assembly so we can decide, you know, make sure everyone's here. And obviously once that plan's been put into place, there will be someone calling the emergency services. And we've also informed the local fire department that we have got a construction site working in their area. So these are the fire hydrants and alarms. So we've got an array of fire extinguishers, spill kit. We've got a nominated first aiders and fire safety officers. We've also got an alarm. There'll be 6 of these on site. So all what someone's got to do is just smash the alarm. It also then sends a signal through the rest of the 5 fire hydrants like this, so that everyone's aware that we've got a fire issue on our hands on site, and then everyone will follow the procedure. And then within our safety first aid points, we've got a first aid kit, biohazard station, and then with some eye wash and a register and phone numbers for the relevant first aid contacts. But everyone will have radios on site, so they can always radio through to get assistance. And we'll hand you over to Steve now with the site rules.
Thanks, Tom. Morning, gents. I'm Steve Johnson. I'll be the site manager on this project. Pleasure to see some of you again. Hope you're all well. Yes, just going through the site rules, which obviously will be situated in the site office, and obviously there will be a few posters around site as well. Just touching on PPE, which is a mandatory requirement. We always have our PPE on at all times. That includes yourselves when you come to site, and you must have your induction sticker attached to your helmet, or you will be refused from site. Good housekeeping, we're massive on that. We like to keep the site tidy at all times, and please respect any facilities. Just going through a few more. Close calls is a massive one for us, which you know, through the field project we've done for you before. There is a box in the site canteen for close calls to be reported, which will be gathered on an evening and sorted the next morning. Visitors, we must sign in and out, as stated. Smoking in designated areas only. Another big one is a 5 mile speed limit, which must be adhered to by all. And if in doubt, ask, we all know that one. And do not use, if you do come on site, don't use mobile phones, please. If you do need to make a phone call, go off site. Is that alright? Our traffic management plan. Again, a big one from us was the possible vehicle movements on site, which is a big one. The working hours is between 8 and 7, and any deliveries will be made after school hours to reduce congestion and before school pick-up times, which we usually don't do the other projects we've done for you. So yeah, there'll be no working on Sundays or bank holidays, and as Barry stated before, the site access is located off School Road, set back again to reduce congestion. Alright? Yeah, another one was obviously a big one for us is the crossing points. As Barry stated before, they are situated at the end of the authorised walking route to safely get everybody to site. And parking arrangements, there are reverse parking only, please. Thank you. Mick Curzon now.
Morning all, my name is Mick Curzon. I am the Health and Safety Manager for this site, and I will be on site for the duration of this project. I'll also be undertaking routine site tours to ensure our full compliance with health and safety throughout this project. The main RAMs for the project has been sent to the head office, which I'm sure everyone will be familiar with by now. I'm sure you've had a good read through them. The RAMs that's been submitted today is just a small task for the site preparation works for the site cabins to be delivered, welfare officers, canteen. Next one please. Right, we've got the storage area. I'll run through the storage area with you. We've got all separate lockers. One's for the cosh, all the cosh storage, so we've got, included in that is cement, we're going to be using brick acid, plasticizer and various other things there, just to name a few. The cosh locker is going to be stored away from any access and egress points, and also any through routes and roads that we've got going through the site. Waste skips, we've got 4 waste skips will be on site. One's for timber, one's for brick and aggregate, one will be for general waste, and the other one will be for cardboard. So recycling, you know, as you can tell from what I've just said, that we are putting all procedures in place to recycle best we can. All materials are going to be stocked up, well stacked up shall I say, neatly. They're going to be in the storage area, which is just down here at the southeast corner. Tools are all in a separate lockable container or cabin. Plant movements will be controlled by a banksman at all times, and they will adhere to the 5 mile an hour speed limit. Quarantine will have a separate container for our quarantine plant, or any quarantine plant that happens to arise throughout the project. They will be tagged up with our quarantine label, and we'll have the hire company out as soon as possible to get everything repaired or anything repaired. Each container will have its own sign on it, you know, to basically mark which container it is and what is going to be stored in there. I would like to now pass on to Colin, who is our security and environmental manager. Thank you.
How are gents? We alright? Good to see you again, Simon, from the last project. We recovered from that one, and it was very busy, weren't it? Like I say, guys, I'm here on behalf of the environment and security. You know, from the last few projects that we've done, we do try and keep ecology, society and economy all working together rather than against each other. So go for on the next slide, just about a couple of the key things that we've gone through so far with this project. So for the ecology surveys and findings before mobilisation, as you know, we've had to go through the local authority for the permission to chop down one of the trees, which was going to affect the hoarding and putting the road on site. Now, there's obviously it's got a tree preservation order on it, so we went back to them with the revised proposed plans. They agreed that it was suitable to take 20% off the full crown and give the tree a crown lift, which that gives us plenty of access for the 2.4 metre hoarding and to get the road in there as well when needed. The survey found that there was no nesting birds in the trees. However, a further survey needs to be carried out 3 to 5 days maximum before the work starts on the trees. So again, we will get another ecology survey on there before we do any works on it. And then obviously the lads that are on site that do the de-veg works will do the ecology checks as well. We have an ecology survey report from Witcher Wildlife, which have confirmed we're clear to start the works as long as we adhere to what they've told us. So as long as we're cordon off the fence around the pond area around here, and we adhere to the ecology survey on the trees, which we've just gone through. You know, from previous projects, we do like to engage with the community. And as we've said, here's a school just around the corner. We have spoken to them to let them know that obviously we are going to be doing the works around there. And they've said with the pond area, they do go there a few times a year as part of their lessons about wildlife and things like that. So we've agreed to take a couple of the classes around there, because when the proposed works are starting, that's when all the tadpoles come and stuff, and they like to see how they grow into frogs and all whatnot. We've also asked any brash from the trees and stuff like that, can we make little huts for the bugs and everything, like all the critters, which we've agreed to. We did that on the last job, which was a massive success. The kids absolutely loved it. As you know, we are CRB checked. There's a good few of us that are CRB, so everything is safe and good to go with that. Site security, ACAL. We know you know ACAL quite well from the last project we had on. Everything was a success with them. You know, you just can't fault them. They're literally just on the ball, as you know. The site security for this will be 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Again, as you know, the area can be a bit dodgy from time to time. So therefore, there'll be 2 guards per shift on 12-hour shifts, which will be 6 till 6, 6 till 6. One of the guards, he'll have the logging in, logging out, but he'll take literally names, numbers, check IDs before coming onto site, and he'll be taking registrations of vehicles as well, just so we've got a general consensus of who's coming in and out. One guard will patrol the perimeter every 45 minutes to 1 hour, and every couple of hours he'll stagger that timing so it doesn't give a normal pattern of life. This is all part of the security survey that they provide to us, because at the end of the day, if the naughty people find out that they're doing it at the same time every time, they could just go behind them. Also, while they're on patrol, they'll be checking obviously the access and egress and all the hoarding, make sure that nobody's trying tampering with it to get in there or anything like that. Every patrol that goes on, they'll be doing a brief report, any findings or anything like that. If they do find that there is any tampering, we'll literally record that, and then we'll know when it was from the last patrol that went on. All the guards are SIA certified, and again they are CRD checked as well. I'll pass you back on to the great man Tom himself now. There we go.
Right, so very quickly on to our programme of works. We're on a 19-week schedule. You'll see with more detail in the packs, but we've got the pre-planning stage, mobilisation phase stage, and then our construction phase down here. When we're looking like completing on the 19 weeks. We're very conscious, obviously, of the local community, as you've heard us going through. We're making use of wheel wash facilities, we're restricting deliveries throughout, and best as we can, we're going to try and keep our local neighbours happy. So that's it from us. Is there any questions? Thanks for listening.
Back up and get off then, boys. No, that was spot on.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
Spot on.
So, have you got any questions?
Well, I don't fucking have to cover everything.
I think we've got some questions for us after
He's
what
just
we've
written about 4 pages, so give us some questions, please.
You're going to have lots for us. I can't think of anything else.
It's all that. It was spot on.
Well, he's written 4 pages, so there's obviously something.
No. There's a lot of things I can't ask you because it could influence theirs. So I'm just trying to pick out the bits that I might want a bit of clarity on.
And again, the only question I was going to ask, but again, it might not be as relative as the thing. Was there anything on exclusion zones for plant movements?
Yes, there will be.
Right.
That comes under my topic of signs.
Right.
So obviously,
So-
under any excavations, we'll cordon it off with barrier
Yeah.
tape and then put a deep excavation sign.
Yeah.
Same also with the banksman as well.
And is there an on-site temporary works register for excavating manhole chamber troughs, things like that, boarding?
Yeah, all that's covered on. All that's in the office. It's gets signed and inducted with the relevant personnel. With whatever that also comes under task briefings.
So,
What was the system for getting on and off site again? For
Just signing in.
so just good old fashioned. Because right at the end there you mentioned ACAL, and you mentioned they the guards would be doing the logging in, so that acts as the fire log.
Well, so
No.
sorry, go on.
Now with the security, obviously the security do their own logging in and logging out and taking the registrations of vehicles coming in and out. That's for the security of the actual site itself.
Separate from the
And
signing
then we
in.
obviously do the inductions, and then we'll do the site logging every day as well.
It's done twice because you know yourself. There's always maybe one guy when he comes to finish his shift, he maybe forgets to sign out.
Right,
So with the security guy doing it, it's like a hard.
got you.
You know, there's someone checking in and out everyone. So you know, if there is a fault with one, we've got something to cross-reference it with.
Well, that's a good plan. Does ACAL stand for anything, by the way?
All killing, all living. They're all ex-SAS and Navy SEALs and
Guys, that was bang on. Really, really good. Well done, guys. Well done.
We knew someone